Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Blitz Grow. Super excited to have you here. If you haven't already, subscribe and let us know how much these episodes are helping you out with your business. Today, we have an awesome guest. We have Adam from Supergreen Tonic. Has a super interesting story about how he created a product from his own need and situation. The super important thing to do is build a product that everybody needs, which Adam's going to go through. He also did this in the supplement space, which is a little bit of a competitive space. So we're going to go through the strategies and the tactics he used and worked to go from 0 to 6 figures. So Adam, thank you so much for joining and really excited to jump into this.
Yeah. Hey, Jack. Yeah. Great to be on here.
So I love to start every episode with what's your elevator pitch to someone you meet at like a conference, an event, or how do you introduce yourself? How do you sort of sum up your value and yourself in 2 sentences?
That's interesting. Yeah, I struggled with what to say to introduce myself. I always used to say I was self-unemployed or I'm unemployable. But yeah, I mean, I'm a founder of a supplement company and an expat. I actually live in Malaysia. I'm obviously from the UK, but my family we moved to Malaysia about 6 years ago, and actually founded the company in the US. So it's quite interesting. Well, interesting is one word. Challenging is probably more like it. Yeah, being an expat in one country with a company in another country that sells also to, well, globally, has been challenging, especially like the US, like setting up everything there, and the time difference. As you know, you've kindly stayed up later to do this podcast.
Yeah, well, I think we might also touch on that as well, because there might be some other expats or definitely people who have moved countries recently, and how to kind of navigate that. Because I know it's tough with your citizenship, your bank accounts, and all that sort of stuff, but we won't dive into that stuff just yet. We want to hear a little bit more about the founding story. So, how did you start Supergreen Tonic? How did you validate the product and the idea? What was kind of like the first few weeks of the company looking like?
Yeah, I mean I guess the reason I set up the product actually is because I wanted to take it. I was researching different greens products, and there's many great things about living in Malaysia. The downside is actually a lot of the meals don't have that many vegetables in there unless you go for particular vegetable dishes. So I found that I wasn't really, even though I was eating very well, probably too much, I was not getting all the greens and all the nutrients I needed. So I thought, well, that greens powders, I've heard of these. Obviously, there's some big players in the space. So I tried a number of products and they were really expensive to get here. And I thought, well, yeah, if I'm going to spend this sort of money, I want to make sure it's the best product I can try. And there was always something missing in the products I tried, whether it's cost, the ingredients, proprietary blends, etc. So you don't know really what's in it. So I thought, well, I have some experience with supplement clients in the past, so I thought let's just create one. So I did a lot of research in terms of what ingredients could be a good fit, and actually really what I wanted in my product. I basically was designing a product for myself. So it had, greens, immune ingredients, and nootropics. So that's really what I wanted in there. And we spent some time just speaking with manufacturers in the US, and actually we decided to do it in the US because of that confidence. Really, we're in Asia, and although the manufacturing costs could be a lot cheaper here, I wanted to really produce it in the US, knowing that we could sell it worldwide if it was a product that had legs. So we went through 3 or 4 different companies to get quotes. So then we worked with them to refine a formula that would taste pretty good and also would tick the box in terms of what I wanted in there. And then we did a sort of a minimum run, really, a minimum for contract manufacturing. It's sort of 1,500 to 2,000 units as a starting point. So it's a bit of investment. I mean, at the start, I probably put in, $60,000-$70,000. Just that's for the product, and also some other work around, in terms of the design. Because my background is web development, but it's not really design, so we had some help there. And originally it was a case of, right, let's see if this is a business that actually commercially works. If not, I've got 1,500 tubs to to drink over the next few years.
Good fallback plan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll be giving a lot of presents away. Supergreen Tonic, and actually,
Nice.
yeah, that's how it started. I mean, I'd already started blogging about greens products and about being an expat and being self-unemployed in Malaysia. So I grew a little bit of an audience or a bit of SEO related traffic around this. So
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it that I was 50% sure, or 50% or more sure, that I would make sales. The real question was how many, and would it be actually a sustainable business?
Yeah. And so on that, so the validation essentially came from you first building up an audience, just blogging, and then selling the product to those people. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, essentially, I mean, yeah, about 80% of the initial customers, I would say, in the first 6 to 12 months were effectively from my blog.
Mm.
Because I have experience in the affiliate sort of marketing space anyway, so I do have
Yeah.
some contacts, so that could actually promote my product as well. So I reached out to them and said, look, it's a great product, send it to them. They had a look,
Mm.
said, yeah, great, and they promoted it. So that was a great kickstart actually to the business. But as we've had this conversation before, SEO is slow. It's
Yeah.
to get validation, as you say, you either have the audience built up before you release the product, or
Mm-hmm.
you release the product and then it's a slow sort of progress for 6 to 12 months if you're lucky.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. So I'd say, how long were you blogging beforehand? And we're definitely going to get into affiliates in a minute, because I think affiliates are getting more and more popular again. I know they kind of like dropped off for a little period, but now they're like back in full force. So we'll definitely dive into that. But how long were you building your audience for prior to the product launch? And then, what sort of volume of traffic were you getting before that? Just so people have a bit of a benchmark to figure out like how much traffic they should get to before they start trying to sell a product to them.
Sure. I mean, the blog I set up actually wasn't meant to be commercial, so there was no commercial intent on the blog. It was just actually I decided to take a year out, and as well as getting fat sitting by the swimming pool, I thought I need to do something productive. Otherwise, I'm gonna struggle to get back into work. So I just sort of started blogging 3 or 4 times a week, and my writing sucks. So I found it hard, and it still sucks, but a little bit less. So yeah, I was doing 3 or 4 blog posts around 1 to 2,000 words in length, and it was very random. Like initially, it wasn't talking about nutrition, although I started to test different products. I mean, like the ring, tested that out. I tested other products that I found interesting, and that's how I first got into the greens supplements. So actually, at that time, I think I was blogging for a good. Actually, before I even talked about anything greens related, it was a 6 or 7 months into the blog. Uh, and actually, one thing I did that really helped with the blog is doing the interviews. And actually, I did it old school rather than the video podcast. Now, this was all written, Google Docs, send it to a friend or someone I just met, say, hey, can I interview you? And I did that to a few people that well known in the digital marketing space, and so the blog got a good spike in traffic from that. And I still use that tactic now. Actually, I interview people, to get SEO traffic from their sort of brand or their name for people that are interested. It allows me to get to know someone a bit better as well if I want to work with them. It also means it's a bit of exposure for the person, obviously, that we're interviewing. And the traffic to the blog gets a little spike, which we know Google loves that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I was talking about this on another episode actually, but if you're an influencer or content creator, whether it's blogger or social media person, going down the affiliate path to test a bunch of products is actually a great way to figure out what products you should start selling. It sounds like you did a little bit of that, and then kind of stumbled across a hybrid between what your audience was interested in, and then also what you were interested in, which is kind of like the holy grail, if you can match those two up. But diving into before we dive into the affiliate stuff, actually, I love asking this question to everybody. So how did you make your first $1,000 online?
Oh, in this business or in general?
In general, and then we'll also do for Supergreen.
Right. Okay. I've got some funny, interesting. Well, I started out wanting to be a digital nomad because I started backpacking in '98. I'm really that old. And I fell in love with Asia, and so I wanted to work online. So I actually then started doing computer programming. But although I was building websites back in, well, it must have been 1999 then. And some people say my sites haven't really improved, but yeah, that's probably the first time I earned money technically online. But it was a funny story.
Like freelancing.
Yeah, that was freelancing though. I guess the first time I earned really good money online was affiliate marketing. And that was over a Christmas period, actually, where I developed a 4-page website promoting one product that I had a very good feeling we knew that this product was going to get PR over Christmas, and it was a diet product. So I created a 4-page website a week before Christmas. Then I accidentally deleted it. And then I thought, shall I do it again or not? Yeah, then I set it up again. It took me another half a day. And then I did a bit of paid for some links and, the usual affiliate marketing, grey hat stuff. And
the stuff that Google loves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hopefully they didn't put 2 and 2 together here. And then, I did that. And then basically on Boxing Day, I was with my parents and I started getting text alerts on my phone like every few minutes, and these were commissions. So I was earning £6, £9, £15 every 5 or 10 minutes. And basically, what had happened? My site, a lazy journalist had basically picked my site and thought that I was the merchant, and they referenced it. So I went straight to number 1 in Google for that brand. And I think I made $5,000 or $6,000 that day, just from a 4-page website in a day and a half, and it's only because I messed up. I think that week was about $15,000, which was great. I couldn't sleep that night because I was just looking at my phone.
Yeah, it's a great start to internet to affiliate marketing.
Yeah, I mean,
$15,000 a day a week.
Yeah, I mean that, and this is SEO. I mean, obviously paid traffic, guys. That's a normal day, but SEO back then. I mean, this was like 10 years ago. So yeah, that was wonderful.
And then what about for Supergreen Tonic? How do you make your first 1,000? Or I would say, where was the first 1,000? I know it sounds like it was your fans and from your blog and everything.
Yeah.
But kind of like, what was the thing or the first promotion or the first email that you did that generated those first $1,000 in sales?
Yeah. I mean, I was doing like a how I created their supplement, sort of a whole series of articles on my blog. So it's funny, there were some people that were emailing me saying, "Oh, tell us when your product's ready." And I'm like, yeah, great. It's going to take another few months. So then when it was ready, though, I didn't do like a proper like launch. That's what I should have done in hindsight, is built it up. More. I should have got people on an email list and said, right, this is ready in a month. 15 days now. I should have done that, but in the end, when it was released, I then put obviously a note on my blog saying, right, it's ready. And I believe, the first $1,000 was in the first few days. It was great. I mean, that's what they say, isn't it? That overnight well, overnight success, and yet you've done 10 years of work before it. It felt like that because the blog had been going, well, 14 months by then. Uh, there was a good 200 to 300,000 words on that blog. So, yeah, it was good. I would struggle to write the amount of content now for the blog, and I think actually that was one of my earlier mistakes. Actually, after the first 6 months, we had validation of the product. I placed a much bigger order with the manufacturer, but my focus was still very much on the blog when it should have been on the brand. Yeah, so it wasn't until really last year where we rebranded slightly to sort of make it a lot tighter, the messaging and what the product does. We should have done that the year before, but I was too busy writing content on the blog, still sort of worrying about SEO on the blog. I mean, it's still really important, but I should have, it's the 80/20 rule. I should have really spent 80% of the time on the brand and 20% on the blog, where it was the other way.
Or at least outsource the blog stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, Kickstarter before Kickstarter even happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's dive into some of the affiliate stuff. Starting out, what are some good affiliate networks? Or do you even suggest affiliate networks? Or do you suggest going directly and working with the brand one-on-one and using the brand's own affiliate program? What's your take on that?
Back in the day, there were some really dodgy affiliate networks. There was all this talk about shaving, and now it doesn't seem to really be the issue. There are a couple of there are a couple of good affiliate networks that basically that they own their own products. I guess I have my own affiliate program as well, so we can stick a link in there at the end, yeah, for people to sign. No, we manage our own program. We've had offers from other networks to go into their network, but I was hesitant to do that because we wanted to work with sort of like-minded affiliates. We wanted to make sure that, that we, like what I do is actually like we've signed up a few affiliates last week that actually I'm working with just to sort of improve, if you like, the funnel and how the information they show. Whereas if you go into a network and they blast it to 1,000 affiliates, you're basically 980 of them probably don't get any traffic or very little traffic, but you'll have your information on the site, and there's the sort of the quality control is difficult then. So yeah, we'd rather work. That's from a brand perspective. If you're an affiliate, it makes sense to. There's some networks now that offer insane commissions. So from an affiliate, they're brilliant. There's one network that offers like 60% commission on health products, which is insane. And they do a second tier referral scheme. So you recruit affiliates. It's like, you can earn from their commissions as well. So it's very, very competitive. So I definitely say if you've got the traffic, you can do incredibly well with signing up to these sort of affiliates. But it depends on the types of products as well. There's some networks that will do a hell of a lot of products, from different niches, but the commissions will be low. So there might be, they're better than Amazon commissions. They're not 2, 3, 4% or 1%, but they might be 8 or 10%. Whereas sort of health products, you're looking at 20 to 60% commissions if you go with a few networks or you go direct.
Yep. Okay. So pros for really the networks are better for affiliates probably, and the pros are you get a lot more offers.
Yeah.
If you're a brand and you join a network, you do get to pick up a lot of potential affiliates to join your program, but you lose control of the brand.
Yeah.
if you have your own network program, if you create your own affiliate program for your brand, you've got to actually go out and do the hard work and recruit all the affiliates.
Yeah, that's it. That's slow going actually. And it's really, I've emailed and harassed a few sites just saying, we're a perfect fit for you. And you've got all the content there would be, you could review our product, and actually we're a decent product. So we would actually be a good fit for your audience, but I get nothing back. And whether it's that actually that's not their main revenue model, or they're earning so much money elsewhere, it's just such a tiny piece for them, it doesn't make much difference, or simply I'm not paying them enough. I mean, ultimately, that could be it. I'm sure it is. Uh, or, yeah, I was just going to say also, probably when I was doing this 18 months to 2 years ago, we probably didn't look the part. The brand wasn't on brand, or the messaging wasn't really solid. So that wouldn't have helped. So I know, and then now I'm reconnecting with a few of those websites, and we've had better luck now that the visual branding is much better.
Got it. And so the main strategy for recruiting is just finding sites that would be a good fit and then doing cold outreach. Is that the main strategy, or have you found any other successful ways of getting affiliates?
That's what we've been doing. I mean, I've got a few other friends that have brands, and so we've talked together and said, well, if you've got any affiliates that would be a good fit, if you can mention us, we can do likewise. So that's helped. Yeah, that's helped. And yeah, otherwise it's just, like you said, cold outreach. And the thing is, it's also a case of the more successful we get and more visibility we get, obviously we'll have affiliates then applying to us. Now we use Reversion as an affiliate platform, and we're on the marketplace. So we've actually had quite an influx since sort of January of affiliates applying. And yeah, it's good, although we've yet to sort of find that affiliates have actually sort of sent us much traffic of the ones that signed up, or from the marketplace. That it's the ones that we've proactively gone out to recruit that have actually helped.
Yeah, again, that 80-20 rule, isn't it? It's just like 80% of your affiliates not going to drive any traffic. It's really the top 20% that do everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know. Okay, so Reversion's a good one. If you want Reversion, I know there's a Reversion as well. Maybe they're the same thing, and I'm getting it wrong. I know there's Share a Sale, Commission Junction, and then Partner Stack is a great one for software. If anybody listening is looking for software deals, but yeah, those are some of the marketplaces I know of. I'm sure there's other ones out there, but as a influencer, it's probably a good idea to join the market, and then as a brand, you got to make the decision if you should go with a marketplace or if you should do your own.
Yeah. I guess if you're an influencer or a content creator, then I guess you need to see if it's a good fit, if you're getting conversions, and then actually you can negotiate. If you're doing volume, then you can negotiate directly. What we find is actually, ironically, on my blog, I've had affiliate networks approach me and say, right, can you, and it's quite funny that I'm a brand owner, but wearing obviously an affiliate hat as well. So, and that's quite interesting. And so I've seen the tactic used by other affiliate managers, and it really ranges in the depth of knowledge. Sometimes it's literally, oh, you've got a blog, you've got some content on this, can you promote us? And they don't really understand like the industry. It's just put two and two together. Oh, you've got a website with that. You mentioned this. Oh, you can give us a link, and nothing on in terms of right, what traffic are you bringing in, or and it would be a 7% commission. You're like, wow.
Yeah. Well, it's also probably a lot of that automated, I would say too. They scrape for domain ranking and keywords and that sort of stuff, and they do a lot of automation. But I agree with you, like kind of like the more personal ones, are probably a better fit, and they're probably going to be long-term affiliate partners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome stuff about the affiliates. Always very interested about that, because that's how I actually made my first dollar as well.
Right.
Doing PPV stuff and
Right.
all different types of things. So it was really funny going and talking to people about the affiliate stuff back in the day. But I think it's having a reemergence. I think affiliates are getting popular again. Where I know there was kind of a slum for a while.
Yeah, even with like Google's been going for it recently with the updates. I mean, I've seen my blog go up and down with the traffic. It's still there, thankfully, and it's interesting. But when did you first start doing affiliate stuff?
Oh, it's got to be like probably about 12 years ago.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it when I was a kid.
Yeah, thanks. Make me sound really old now. Yeah.
No, it's it was a little while ago. And yeah, I think it was it's definitely about finding the right product, the right person. And yeah, we're really aligning that. Same with a lot of marketing stuff, really. It's just aligning the right things in a row, and then it all works.
Yeah.
Quickly going back to the supplement stuff, if you were starting a supplement company today, what are some quick tips that you can give people to avoid nightmares or headaches with starting a supplement company? What are some things you would avoid, or some hard lessons you learned?
I mean, it's a lot easier if you do the white label stuff. So if you went with the approach of, I've got an angle that I'd like to test, I'm going to try, like say, nootropics to 60-year-olds, or a particular angle, and you think, right, I know there's a product I can buy off the shelf. I can buy 100 units or 50 units and just give it a try. And then it's about the branding and obviously the marketing. See, I thought about doing that at the start. I thought, if I just put up a page, just market and just do some advertising, let's just see. But I actually, for me, I know that because paid marketing isn't my thing. I'm slowly still trying to get my head around it. And we've talked about that before. And so I think I would have given up if I'd have taken that approach, because the whole point of why I did the product is because I wanted to take it, and 99 out of 100 of the white label products I wouldn't take, because it wouldn't have the dosages or the ingredients I wanted in it. So that wouldn't have been sort of congruent for me to market that way. But if you were purely looking at it from a marketing perspective, you wouldn't do it the way I did it, because it's too long. It just takes too long. You're investing not small change into it, a year of your life and 60, 70K minimum. So you wouldn't do it that way. But yeah, there are so many sort of manufacturers now that, private label, and they're decent manufacturers. It's just the product is, they manufacture thousands of these same ingredient profile supplements, and you can just put your branding on there. You can go to Upwork, get a decent, label done or logo, and you can build a website out fairly cheaply. There's companies now that are dedicated to doing these sort of more landing page style e-commerce sites rather than the traditional Shopify sites, and you can just do that, and you would try. And actually, we're doing some Pinterest stuff at the moment, which is interesting because Pinterest are really pushing e-commerce now. And so we have a friend of mine, he's sort of managing that for us. So that's interesting. I mean, it's early days, but the cost is a lot cheaper on Pinterest. Yeah. So that's interesting. It's something I never would have looked at before, and so that things like this, I would try the influencer route. I know a lot of people say this is a good solution for sort of getting the product. It hasn't worked for us. Obviously, I mean, our product isn't a cheap product, so to actually even to produce, it's not cheap. So actually sending out thousands of tubs to influencers, it's a tough one. We're going to have such a high conversion rate for us to make that work, and funny if it didn't. So
Yeah. Well, I think the main thing is, the marketing dollars and the marketing efforts are moving away from Facebook and, TikTok, Pinterest, Snapchat, all these other guys, Google are getting the run off of that. And so, they all need to smarten up their platforms to get on the same level so that, they attract more brands to use their platforms to sell their products, because that's really how all of them are going to monetize. Advertising or literally having checkouts on their platforms, and they're taking commissions like Instagram, Facebook shops, that sort of stuff. But yeah, super interesting how it's changed, because I know Facebook took a massive hit recently with their ad revenue because of the iOS update. So
yes,
a lot of advertisers are looking at other platforms, and I would say, Pinterest and TikTok, super cheap right now. TikTok, we've only seen user-generated content or influencer content work. No branding content or no product shots, that sort of stuff has ever worked. But yeah, if you can get that to work, that's working really, really well. Pinterest is, very top of the funnel, super cheap. The conversion journey is a little bit longer, I think. But yeah, it's definitely worth having a combination of all of these things, because it's not just one thing that's going to make your store successful. You've got to do a few different things. And again, a few different things have to align for it all to work properly. But yeah, that's a great point though. Experimenting with other channels.
Yeah, I'm still practicing my dancing for TikTok, and it's yeah, it's interesting. TikTok though, I mean, I've looked at it, and that's why I joke about the dancing, because when I go on there, I just see young people dancing on there, or throwing water in faces, and I know I'm missing it, because I have looked at our competitors on there and seen that they're on there, and like you say, they're not from the brand, they're all user generated stuff. So are you looking heavily into TikTok?
For certain brands, yes. For the brands that are targeting people under 25 for a purchase, yes. Brands even over 20 almost, they're going to have a hard time. Like the problem is that people don't leave TikTok. So if they see an ad or if they see something they like, they don't necessarily click out of TikTok. They just keep scrolling. It's just like a muscle memory. It's just like next.
Yeah.
Whereas on Facebook and Instagram, people are used to seeing something, clicking out, and then going to the website and exploring it more. Same with Pinterest, same with Google. So I think there's still a little bit of time for TikTok to mature. And I think a lot of other brands will start seeing success. But at the moment, it's the younger brands that have the user-generated content and the influencer stuff working for them. And they're driving it to dedicated landing pages. And they're seeing, super cheap traffic, and the conversion rates are really low, but the traffic is so low that it's still working profitably. That's really the main things that we've seen on TikTok. But yeah, I would say it's a 50% success rate. Like 50% of the brands we try on TikTok don't work out.
And is that because of demographic? I mean, like our brand, it's actually for a 35-year-old up. So that's why really, in fact, even with Instagram, we were really unsure if that was really going to work for us, because even Instagram, it's sort of, that's the sort of top end, isn't it? Or are you seeing more a higher demographic, higher age group on Instagram, sort of 30s?
Yeah, I think I would say, at 30 to 40 on Instagram, and then probably 40 plus Facebook. But Instagram and Facebook have pretty much everybody in the world on there, so they're there. It's just who's engaging. So the older demographics seem to be engaging a bit more, whereas the younger people are engaging more so on these newer platforms, because they see Facebook and they're like, oh, my parents are on that, I don't want to be on that. So yeah, it's interesting how it all works, and I think all of these social platforms just go through a cycle, and every platform is got a specific type of product or niche or brand that works well on that platform. Luckily, Google and Facebook work for most brands, and then TikTok, Pinterest, Snapchat, all these other ones kind of are limited to the types of products and brands that advertise on there, I think.
Yeah, we're the strategy we're taking at the moment is just trying to focus maybe on retargeting for Facebook, and with Google just doing the sort of the more middle of the funnel stuff. And that's what we're trying at the moment, but we don't spend a huge amount on advertising. Actually, we went into Amazon last year, and that's a beast. We've only just turned the corner, and actually, yeah, I mean, it's tough. That's really tough platform because you're dealing with such strict rules on how you send product in, what you can say, how you get access to other content like the A+ content. It's been a nightmare, really. But it's been eight months, and we've just turned a corner, literally, in the last 6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the Amazon stuff is tough. Like, they are so strict. There's a lot of competition, but same as before, the 80/20 rule. Once you have, your spot in the Amazon listing and you have enough reviews and you've optimized your sales page or whatever it may be, like, they have so much volume of people searching to buy products.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally the Google of shopping.
Yeah, and well, the conversion rate as well. Like, people are there to look at the reviews and buy, aren't they? Really. So we've seen the conversion rate is huge. But what's interesting is that I can't remember who said it, but there was a guy that sort of just markets like FBA products, and he says he loves Amazon because literally you just focus on the marketing. They do everything, they do fulfillment, everything. So you can literally just hands off. Although, yeah, this is it. This is it. I mean, yeah, and also the other one was price point. Like, we're at the high end, and so I know that when we were looking at it, they were saying, well, maybe we should reduce the price. But I said, well, we do that, then we have to reduce across the board. It's almost like, you want a different product that's in Amazon that you can play around with the pricing, and then outside of Amazon you can sort of have a slightly different product. But yeah,
A lot of successful brands that we've seen that have done Amazon well is they'll have a loss leader, or they'll have a few SKUs on Amazon which they won't have on their website, and then they'll have a lot more SKUs on their website they don't have on Amazon.
Right.
So it's kind of like the introduction of the brand, and it's something that they're willing to break even on or even take a loss on just to get someone into the brand. And then once they're in there, they have a handout for a coupon code or a free gift or something, so you get them into your email system or whatever it may be. But yeah, the tough thing is kind of competing with everybody else there, making sure that you're making enough margin. And yeah, it is a battle because they pretty much control the pricing of a lot of the products on there. It's like, if you're not at the price point that they want, you're not ranking on that first page.
It's incredibly expensive. The cost per clicks were insane in December.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh yeah, December especially.
Yeah, I mean, really, really insane. But I mean, hopefully we continue. I mean, we're going to release another product actually in about 3 months.
Nice.
The one at the end of the year. That's the plan. So there have been some supply chain issues with ingredients in particular. So that's why one of the products we want to release, it's going to have to be the end of the year, and we want to do that now. But there's just going to be issues with that. Yeah, it's exciting.
Oh yeah, problem all around the world right now. Everybody's struggling with manufacturing and logistics and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Oh, there's the shipping as well, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, we ship within the US. It's not too bad, but to the UK and Australia has been insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Australia hasn't made it easy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Adam, Thank you so much for sharing all this. Really interesting story. Great to hear about all the affiliate stuff, how you got started, a lot about the Amazon stuff that we ended up actually getting into. So much value here for everybody to take in. Where can everybody find you? Where can they see your products? What projects you're working on? Check out this blog. Where can we find you?
Well, obviously, I'd love you to go to supergreentonic.com. That's the best location for the obviously the product. In terms of the blog, I mean, slightly cheesy name, but lifehackerguy.com is the blog that I write about just general stuff and about greens and stuff as well. So yeah, they're the best two.
Nice. Awesome. And we'll also chuck all the links in the show notes and everything. But for everybody listening, don't forget to subscribe. Let us know if you're enjoying these episodes and how they're helping you. Really appreciate everybody listening and downloading and all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for today. And Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And we'll chat soon.
Yeah, cheers, Jack. See you.
Hey guys, we put a bunch of effort into making great content for this YouTube channel. So please hit subscribe, leave us a comment, hit like, and tell a few friends about it.